armored wonders of the sea. The sea urchins, spiky guardians of the reef. The sea urchin, a small but extraordinary creature of the ocean, is one of nature's most fascinating marine invertebrates. At first glance, its round body, covered with sharp spines, may look intimidating, but beneath this prickly armor lies a delicate and vital organism. Sea urchins belong to the class Echinoidea, relatives of starfish and sea cucumbers, and they can be found in oceans all around the world, from shallow coastal waters to the rocky depths of the sea floor. What immediately sets the sea urchin apart is its appearance. Its spherical body, called a test, is made of interlocking calcium carbonate plates that provide both strength and flexibility. Covering the test are movable spines, ranging from short and fine to long and needle-sharp. These spines serve as both a defense mechanism against predators and a means of movement, allowing the urchin to crawl slowly across the ocean floor. Between the spines are small tube feet, powered by a unique water vascular system. These tube feet help the urchin cling tightly to rocks, move in search of food, and even sense the environment around them. Feeding is another remarkable aspect of sea urchin biology. At the base of their body lies a special structure known as Aristotle's lantern, a set of 5 calcareous teeth arranged in a circle. With this intricate mouthpart, the urchin scrapes algae and plant material off rocks. Some species even feed on seagrass and detritus. This grazing activity plays an essential role in the ecosystem. By controlling algae growth, sea urchins help maintain balance in coral reef habitats, preventing algae from smothering corals and ensuring that reef communities remain healthy. However, when their populations grow unchecked, sea urchins can cause significant damage. In areas where natural predators like sea otters, lobsters, or certain fish are absent, urchins may reproduce in huge numbers, stripping kelp forests bare and leaving behind what scientists call urchin barrens. These desolate areas can take years, or even decades, to recover. Thus, sea urchins represent both a guardian of marine balance and, at times, a potential threat when ecosystems are disturbed. Reproduction in sea urchins is equally fascinating. They reproduce by releasing eggs and sperm directly into the water, a process called external fertilization. During spawning events, thousands of gametes are released, and if conditions are right, fertilized eggs develop into tiny, free-swimming larvae. These larvae drift with ocean currents for weeks before finally settling onto the seafloor and transforming into juvenile urchins. This life cycle ensures wide dispersal, allowing sea urchin populations to spread across vast areas of the ocean. Predation is another factor shaping the life of sea urchins. Despite their formidable spines, many marine animals feed on them. Sea otters are perhaps the most famous urchin hunters, using rocks as tools to crack open the spiny shell. Starfish can pry them open with their tube feet and invert their stomachs inside. Even humans enjoy them, especially the rich, golden roe of some species, considered a delicacy in Japanese cuisine known as uni. Sea urchins also hold surprising importance in science. Their simple embryos have been studied for over a century, providing crucial insights into developmental biology. In fact, Many of our early understandings of how cells divide and specialize came from sea urchin research. Today, they remain a model organism for genetics and marine ecology. They may appear small and unassuming, but their impact reaches far beyond their size. As we continue to study and understand them, sea urchins remind us of the intricate web of relationships that sustain marine life, and of the responsibility we hold to protect the fragile world beneath the waves. The mantis shrimp, rainbow warriors of the reef. In the colorful world of coral reefs lives a creature so extraordinary that it seems almost unreal. The mantis shrimp, a small marine crustacean, may only measure a few inches in length, yet it possesses some of the most remarkable abilities found anywhere in the animal kingdom. Scientists often call it nature's super predator, and for good reason. At first sight, the mantis shrimp looks like a mix of a shrimp and a lobster, with a brightly colored, segmented body and stalked eyes that seem to scan the world in all directions. But do not be deceived by its size or beauty. This animal is an apex predator in its own small realm, equipped with a pair of specialized raptorial claws that make it one of the fastest and most powerful hunters on the planet. There are two main types of mantis shrimp, smashers and spearers. Smashers wield club-like claws capable of delivering one of the fastest strikes in nature. In less than the blink of an eye, they can smash open the shells of crabs, clams, or snails with blows as fast as a bullet and as strong as a gunshot. The acceleration of their strike is so extreme that it creates tiny bubbles, known as cavitation bubbles, which collapse with a shockwave powerful enough to stun or even kill prey. Spearers, on the other hand, have sharp, spiny claws that resemble barbed spears. They lie in wait and impale passing fish with lightning speed, ensuring there is no escape. This incredible weaponry is matched by equally astonishing eyesight. The mantis shrimp has the most complex vision system known in the animal world. While humans see only 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue, the mantis shrimp can perceive up to 16 different types of color receptors. Beyond that, it can detect ultraviolet and polarized light, and each of its eyes can move independently, scanning the environment with remarkable precision. This gives the mantis shrimp a view of the world that is entirely beyond human imagination, a kaleidoscope of colors and patterns invisible to us. Scientists believe this vision helps them both in hunting prey and in communicating with one another through subtle changes in body color and reflection. It digs burrows in sandy or rocky seabeds, using them as both homes and ambush sites. From these hidden fortresses, it launches attacks on unsuspecting prey. Some mantis shrimp species are fiercely territorial, defending their homes against intruders with relentless strikes. They are also known for their complex social behaviors, including ritualized combat between rivals and even long-term pair bonding in certain species, where male and female may share a burrow and cooperate in raising their young. Reproduction in mantis shrimp involves a fascinating courtship. In some species, males perform displays to attract females, showing off their bright colors and strength. After mating, the female lays eggs, which she either carries beneath her body or keeps safely inside the burrow. Parents guard the developing embryos carefully until the larvae hatch. These larvae then drift in the open ocean before eventually settling back into reef habitats, where they grow into the formidable predators of the next generation. The ecological role of mantis shrimp is significant. By preying on hard-shelled animals like mollusks and crabs, they help regulate populations and maintain balance in reef ecosystems. At the same time, their burrows create hiding spaces for other small marine creatures. They are both hunters and ecosystem engineers, shaping the environments in which they live. Humans, too, have a special interest in the mantis shrimp. In some coastal communities, they are harvested for food, appreciated for their sweet and delicate flesh. More importantly, scientists study them for inspiration in advanced technology. The structure of their striking claws is so strong that researchers are exploring ways to design tougher materials for body armor and even spacecraft. Their extraordinary vision has inspired new approaches to optical devices and medical imaging. In this way, the mantis shrimp continues to influence human innovation far beyond the ocean. The mantis shrimp is a reminder of how much wonder lies hidden beneath the waves. Though small in size, it embodies the extremes of nature: lightning speed, explosive strength, unparalleled vision, and remarkable behavior. It is a living testament to evolution's creativity, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary creatures come in the most unexpected forms. The shrimp, small creatures with big impact. Shrimp, small, delicate creatures of the sea, are among the most familiar and economically important animals on our planet. Found in oceans, rivers, and lakes across the globe, they may seem simple at first glance. Yet shrimp are remarkable survivors, playing crucial roles in ecosystems, supporting human communities, and even inspiring scientific research. Their story is one of adaptability, diversity, and hidden importance in the great web of life. Shrimp belong to the order Decapoda, which means 10-footed, and they are close relatives of crabs and lobsters. Their bodies are typically elongated and semi-transparent, protected by a flexible exoskeleton made of chitin. Like other crustaceans, shrimp must molt this exoskeleton as they grow, shedding their old shell to form a new one. This molting process leaves them vulnerable for a short time, but it also enables them to expand in size and develop. Some species molt dozens of times throughout their lives. The anatomy of a shrimp is both elegant and efficient. Their long antennae are sensory tools, helping them detect vibrations and chemical signals in the water. Their compound eyes, perched on short stalks, provide a wide field of vision. They have swimmerets, small appendages beneath the abdomen that they use for swimming, fanning water over their gills, and in females, carrying eggs. The powerful tail with its fan-like structure enables shrimp to escape danger in an instant, propelling them backward in a sudden burst of speed. Shrimp are extraordinarily diverse. Scientists estimate that there are more than 2,000 recognized species, ranging from tiny freshwater varieties to large tiger prawns that can grow over 30 centimeters long. They inhabit environments from shallow estuaries and mangroves to the deep sea, adapting to a wide range of conditions. Some live solitary lives, while others form massive schools that travel together for protection and feeding. Feeding behavior is another fascinating aspect of shrimp biology. Most shrimp are omnivores, consuming algae, plankton, detritus, and small animals. By feeding in this way, they act as recyclers, cleaning up organic matter that might otherwise accumulate on the ocean floor. Some shrimp, like the cleaner shrimp, have developed a unique ecological role. Perched at special cleaning stations on coral reefs, they remove parasites and dead tissue from larger fish. This not only benefits the shrimp, which gains food, but also helps keep reef fish healthy. It is one of the ocean's most remarkable examples of mutualism. Shrimp reproduction is equally intriguing. Males and females usually mate after the female molts, when her shell is still soft. The male deposits sperm, which the female uses to fertilize her eggs. Depending on the species, a female may carry hundreds or even thousands of eggs beneath her abdomen, attached to her swimmerets. After several weeks, the eggs hatch into larvae, which drift with ocean currents as part of the plankton. These larvae undergo a series of transformations before finally settling to the bottom and growing into juvenile shrimp. This life cycle allows shrimp populations to disperse widely across marine environments. Despite their small size, shrimp play a huge role in marine food webs. They are a vital food source for fish, seabirds, whales, and countless other predators. Without shrimp and similar crustaceans, many larger animals would struggle to survive. In turn, shrimp also shape the habitats they live in. By burrowing into sediments, some species aerate the seabed, influencing nutrient cycles and supporting diverse benthic communities. Humans, too, have a long history with shrimp. They are one of the most widely consumed seafoods in the world, enjoyed in countless cultures and cuisines. From grilled prawns on the coasts of Asia to shrimp cocktails in the Americas, their culinary versatility is unmatched. Shrimp farming has become a massive global industry, particularly in countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Ecuador. Farmed shrimp provide affordable protein for millions of people, but this practice also comes with environmental challenges, including habitat loss, pollution, and disease outbreaks. Beyond food, shrimp hold cultural and scientific significance. In some societies, they are featured in art, folklore, and tradition. In science, shrimp such as the brine shrimp Artemia have been used in research and education, even traveling into space as part of experiments on life in microgravity. Other species like snapping shrimp have inspired studies in physics. These shrimp produce one of the loudest sounds in the ocean by snapping their claws shut, creating a bubble that collapses with a crack powerful enough to stun prey. The most extraordinary shrimp of all might be the mantis shrimp, famous for its lightning-fast strikes and unparalleled vision. Though not a true shrimp, it shares the name and reminds us of the incredible diversity hidden within this group of animals. Yet shrimp face serious threats in the modern world. Climate change, ocean acidification, and pollution all endanger their habitats. Overfishing has depleted wild populations in some regions, while unsustainable farming practices have harmed coastal ecosystems. Protecting shrimp means not only ensuring a sustainable seafood supply, but also safeguarding the countless other creatures that depend on them. Conservation efforts are underway. Sustainable fishing practices, eco-friendly aquaculture, and marine protected areas all aim to preserve shrimp populations for the future. By balancing human needs with ecological responsibility, we can ensure that shrimp continue to thrive in the world's oceans and rivers. As we look more closely at these small yet powerful creatures, it becomes clear that shrimp are far more than just seafood. They are keystone players in ecosystems, cultural symbols, and even models for scientific discovery. Their journey from tiny larvae drifting in the currents to bustling communities on the seabed reflects the resilience and complexity of life in the ocean. The next time we see a shrimp, whether in the wild or on a plate, we might pause to appreciate the story it carries. A story of adaptation, survival, and connection to the broader fabric of life beneath the waves. Shrimp remind us that even the smallest creatures can have the greatest impact, and that the mysteries of the sea are often hidden in plain sight. The hermit crab, wanderers with borrowed homes. Hidden among the rocks, crawling along sandy beaches, and exploring coral reefs, lives one of the ocean's most curious and resourceful creatures, the hermit crab. Though small in size, the hermit crab has fascinated scientists and storytellers alike with its unusual lifestyle and remarkable survival strategies. Its story is one of adaptation, cooperation, and resilience in the face of a challenging world. Unlike true crabs, hermit crabs do not possess a fully hardened exoskeleton. Their front half, including claws and head, is covered by a tough shell, but the soft, spiral-shaped abdomen is left exposed. This vulnerability has forced them to develop a unique survival tactic. They borrow the abandoned shells of marine snails. By tucking their bodies inside these portable homes, hermit crabs gain protection from predators and the harsh environment. The shell becomes both armor and shelter, a life-saving adaptation that defines their very existence. The search for the perfect shell is a constant struggle. As hermit crabs grow, they must abandon their old, cramped shells and find larger ones. This search often leads to fascinating social behavior. In some cases, multiple hermit crabs line up in what scientists call a shell exchange chain. The smallest crab takes the smallest shell, while each larger crab moves into the shell vacated by the one ahead. This orderly procession ensures that each crab gets a better home without unnecessary conflict. But competition can be fierce. If shells are scarce, hermit crabs may fight or even evict one another from their shelters. Their bodies are well adapted to this nomadic lifestyle. The hermit crab's abdomen is coiled to fit snugly inside spiral shells, while special hooked legs help anchor it securely within. The crab can withdraw completely, using its strong claws as a door to seal the entrance. This clever design keeps predators like fish, octopuses, and larger crabs at bay. Hermit crabs are found in a wide range of environments, from shallow tidal pools to deep ocean floors, and even on tropical islands where they venture onto land. There are more than 800 known species, each adapted to different habitats. Marine hermit crabs breathe with gills and must remain in moist environments, while land hermit crabs, such as the coconut crab's relatives, have evolved to live largely on shore, returning to the sea only to reproduce. Feeding habits vary, but most hermit crabs are opportunistic omnivores. They scavenge for algae, detritus, and decaying matter, playing an important role as cleaners of the ecosystem. Some even form mutualistic relationships with other species. Certain hermit crabs attach sea anemones to their shells. The anemones gain mobility and access to food scraps, while the crabs benefit from the stinging tentacles of their partners, which deter predators. This remarkable partnership highlights the interconnectedness of life on the reef. Reproduction in hermit crabs adds another layer of complexity. During mating season, males approach females and often engage in displays or gentle tapping with their claws. Fertilization occurs externally, and the female carries eggs attached to her abdomen, safely tucked inside the shell. After several weeks, the eggs hatch into tiny larvae that drift with ocean currents as part of the plankton. These larvae pass through multiple stages before settling on the seafloor, where they must quickly find a small shell to occupy. Without one, they are defenseless and unlikely to survive. Predation and environmental challenges are constant threats. Birds, fish, octopuses, and even humans prey on hermit crabs. But perhaps their greatest modern threat comes not from natural enemies, but from the loss of suitable shells. With increasing pollution, many natural shells are scarce. In some places, hermit crabs have been found inhabiting bottle caps, plastic containers, or other man-made debris. While these improvised shelters may offer temporary safety, they are often ill-fitting and can be dangerous, underscoring the wider impact of human activity on marine life. Despite their challenges, hermit crabs have captured human imagination for centuries. In many cultures, they are symbols of adaptability and resilience. Their curious habit of moving from home to home is sometimes seen as a metaphor for change and growth. In coastal communities, hermit crabs are kept as pets or collected as curiosities, though this practice raises concerns about their welfare and conservation. Scientists also value hermit crabs for what they reveal about animal behavior and ecology. Their shell selection strategies provide insight into decision-making and resource competition in the natural world. Their interactions with sea anemones demonstrate the importance of cooperation among species. Even their social vacancy chains, where multiple individuals coordinate shell exchanges, suggest a surprising level of organization in creatures so small. Ecologically, hermit crabs are indispensable. By scavenging on the seafloor, they recycle nutrients and keep ecosystems healthy. It is a survivor, a recycler, a partner in symbiosis, and a quiet architect of marine ecosystems. Its life story is one of adaptation and ingenuity, a reminder that even the smallest creatures hold extraordinary lessons. As we watch a hermit crab drag its borrowed home across the sand, we are witnessing not just an animal, but a living symbol of resilience in the ever-changing world beneath the waves. The crab, sideways walkers of the sea. Across the world's coastlines, estuaries, and ocean floors, one creature stands out as both familiar and fascinating: the crab. With their sideways scuttle, armored shells, and impressive claws, crabs are among the most recognizable and diverse crustaceans on Earth. There are more than 6,000 known species, ranging from tiny pea crabs just a few millimeters long to the colossal Japanese spider crab, whose outstretched legs can span more than 3 meters. This incredible diversity reflects a long history of adaptation to nearly every marine habitat, and even some freshwater and land environments. Its hard exoskeleton, made of chitin and strengthened with calcium carbonate, provides excellent protection against predators. But this armor has a limitation: it cannot grow. To increase in size, crabs must molt, shedding their old shell and expanding before a new one hardens. This vulnerable process leaves them soft-bodied and exposed for a short time, but it is essential to their survival and development. Some crabs may molt dozens of times throughout their lives, gradually growing larger with each new shell. Their distinctive claws, or chelae, are multi-purpose tools. Crabs use them to catch prey, crack open shells, fight rivals, and even communicate through gestures and displays. In many species, the claws are asymmetrical: one is larger and more powerful, while the other is more precise. The famous fiddler crab, for instance, has a single oversized claw that males wave in rhythmic patterns to attract females and establish territory. These behaviors highlight the importance of claws not only as weapons, but as instruments of social interaction. Crabs are highly adaptable feeders. Most are omnivores, consuming algae, detritus, mollusks, small fish, and carrion. By feeding on a wide range of materials, they act as recyclers of the sea, cleaning up organic matter and contributing to nutrient cycles. Some crabs, like the decorator crab, take feeding and camouflage to another level by attaching pieces of algae, sponges, or shells to their bodies. This provides both a food source and a disguise from predators. Others, like the coconut crab, have become powerful land scavengers, capable of cracking open coconuts with their massive claws. The life cycle of crabs is equally fascinating. Most species reproduce through external fertilization, with females carrying fertilized eggs under their abdomen until they hatch. These eggs release into the ocean as tiny planktonic larvae, drifting with currents for days or weeks before undergoing several transformations. Eventually, they settle to the seafloor as juvenile crabs. This journey ensures wide dispersal and survival of the species, but it also exposes young crabs to countless dangers. Only a small fraction survive to adulthood, highlighting the precarious balance of life in the ocean. Crabs play vital roles in marine ecosystems. They are both predators and prey, feeding on smaller organisms while themselves serving as food for fish, seabirds, octopuses, and humans. Their burrowing activities help aerate sediments, influencing nutrient distribution and supporting benthic communities. In coral reefs, mangroves, and estuaries, crabs act as ecosystem engineers, shaping the environment in ways that benefit many other species. Humans have always had a special relationship with crabs. For thousands of years, they have been a valuable source of food. Today, crabs are among the most harvested crustaceans, with species like blue crabs, snow crabs, and king crabs driving major global fisheries. They are celebrated in cultural traditions, festivals, and cuisines around the world. Beyond their culinary importance, crabs inspire art, folklore, and even mythology, appearing as symbols of resilience and transformation. Yet this long relationship comes with challenges. Overfishing threatens some crab populations, while habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change pose growing dangers. Rising ocean temperatures and acidification affect crab development, weakening their shells and disrupting food webs. In some regions, invasive crab species introduced by human activity have unbalanced ecosystems, outcompeting native wildlife. Conserving crab populations requires sustainable management, marine protected areas, and greater awareness of their ecological significance. From the tiniest crabs hiding in oyster shells to the giant spider crabs of the deep sea, these remarkable creatures demonstrate the extraordinary adaptability of life. They embody resilience, ingenuity, and diversity, thriving in environments as varied as Arctic seas, tropical reefs, and coastal mangroves. Crabs may be familiar to us, but their world is full of complexity and wonder. As we watch a crab scuttle across the sand, claws raised in defense, or glimpse one disappearing into the shadows of a reef, we are reminded of how much life the ocean holds in its many forms. Crabs are not just seafood on our plates, they are vital players in the great story of the sea, survivors of ancient lineages, and symbols of strength in the fragile web of marine life. The lobster, long-lived survivors of the deep. Deep beneath the waves, along rocky coastlines and cold ocean floors, dwells one of the ocean's most fascinating crustaceans, the lobster. Known for its armored body, powerful claws, and secretive lifestyle, the lobster has long captured human imagination. But beyond its reputation as a prized delicacy, this creature plays an extraordinary role in marine ecosystems. A lobster's body is a marvel of adaptation. Protected by a hard exoskeleton or carapace, it is shielded against predators and the harsh environment of the seafloor. Like other crustaceans, however, this shell does not grow with the animal. To increase in size, lobsters must molt, shedding their old armor and forming a new one. During this vulnerable stage, their soft bodies make them easy prey, and survival depends on finding shelter until the shell hardens again. Some lobsters can molt dozens of times throughout their long lives, a process that continues well into adulthood. Perhaps the most striking feature of lobsters is their formidable claws. They have two distinct types: the crusher claw, massive and powerful, used to crack shells and crush prey, and the pincer claw, slender and sharp, designed for cutting and tearing. This combination makes lobsters versatile hunters and scavengers, feeding on fish, mollusks, sea urchins, and even carrion. As opportunistic omnivores, they help maintain balance on the ocean floor by recycling nutrients and controlling populations of other species. Lobsters are also famous for their remarkable longevity. Some individuals are believed to live more than 50 years, growing slowly and steadily over decades. Unlike many animals, lobsters do not show typical signs of aging. Instead, they may continue reproducing and growing throughout much of their lives. This incredible lifespan makes them not only survivors of the deep, but also key witnesses to changes in their marine habitats across generations. The life cycle of a lobster begins in the open ocean. Females carry thousands of tiny eggs under their tails for many months before releasing them into the water. The larvae drift as plankton, vulnerable to currents and predators, and only a small fraction survive. After several stages of transformation, the young settle on the seafloor, where they begin the solitary existence that defines adult lobsters. Territorial and secretive, they spend much of their time hiding in burrows or under rocks, emerging mainly at night to feed. For humans, lobsters hold both cultural and economic importance. Once considered poor man's food in colonial times, lobsters have since become one of the most luxurious seafoods in the world. Today, lobster fisheries drive entire coastal economies, particularly in North America and parts of Europe. The demand for lobsters has turned them into a global commodity, with complex industries devoted to their capture, transport, and preparation. Their image has shifted from humble scavenger to symbol of fine dining. Yet this close relationship with humans comes with risks. Overfishing, habitat loss, and climate change threaten lobster populations. Warming seas and changing ocean chemistry affect their growth and reproduction, while disease outbreaks add further pressure. Sustainable fishing practices and marine conservation efforts are now essential to ensure that lobsters remain a part of both marine ecosystems and human culture for generations to come. From their armored shells to their mighty claws, lobsters embody resilience and adaptability. They are more than just a delicacy on our plates. They are ancient survivors, guardians of rocky seafloors, and vital players in the ocean's complex web of life. Watching a lobster slowly emerge from its burrow under the cover of darkness, we are reminded that even the most familiar creatures of the sea still hold mysteries waiting to be discovered. The sea snail, survivors with spiral shells. Across the shallow shores and deep ocean floors, among coral reefs, seagrass meadows, and rocky coastlines, lives a group of creatures both humble and extraordinary, the sea snails. Often overlooked because of their slow pace and simple appearance, sea snails are in fact a vast and diverse group of mollusks, numbering in the tens of thousands of species. From the tiny periwinkle clinging to tidal rocks to the giant conch with its spiraled shell, sea snails demonstrate the incredible adaptability and resilience of life in the sea. At first glance, a sea snail may seem unremarkable, but its anatomy is a wonder of evolutionary design. Its soft body is protected by a coiled shell made primarily of calcium carbonate, which grows in harmony with the animal over time. The spiral, one of nature's most iconic patterns, not only strengthens the shell but also maximizes space for the snail's body within. For sea snails, these shells are more than just homes, they are fortresses against predators and tools for survival. Beneath the shell, the sea snail's body reveals further secrets. A muscular foot, located on the underside, allows it to move slowly across surfaces, leaving behind a glistening trail of mucus. This mucus is not only for lubrication, but also plays roles in defense and communication. At the front, tentacle-like structures bear sensory organs, including eyes capable of detecting light and movement. Many sea snails also possess a unique feeding organ called the radula, a ribbon-like tongue lined with rows of microscopic teeth. With it, they can scrape algae from rocks, bore into shells of prey, or even inject venom, depending on the species. The feeding strategies of sea snails are as diverse as the creatures themselves. Many are herbivores, grazing on algae and seaweed, and in doing so, they help regulate plant growth and maintain ecological balance. Others are scavengers, consuming decaying matter and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. But some sea snails are formidable predators. Cone snails, for instance, use a specialized harpoon-like tooth to inject venom into fish and other prey. Their venom contains powerful neurotoxins, some of which have inspired cutting-edge medical research. This extraordinary range of diets highlights the adaptability and importance of sea snails in ocean food webs. Reproduction in sea snails also showcases fascinating diversity. Some species release eggs and sperm into the water, where fertilization occurs externally, while others engage in internal fertilization. Females may lay egg capsules attached to rocks, seagrass, or corals, each capsule containing dozens or even hundreds of developing embryos. In some cases, larvae hatch into planktonic forms that drift with currents before settling down as juveniles. In others, young snails emerge as miniature versions of adults. This variety in reproductive strategies has allowed sea snails to colonize nearly every marine habitat on Earth. Sea snails are not solitary players in the ocean. They are integral to entire ecosystems. They serve as prey for countless animals, from fish and crabs to sea stars, octopuses, and seabirds. At the same time, by grazing, scavenging, or predation, they shape the distribution and abundance of other organisms. Their empty shells, once abandoned, become homes for hermit crabs or microhabitats for algae and small invertebrates. In coral reefs and seagrass beds, sea snails contribute to the health and resilience of these environments, underscoring their ecological significance. For humans, sea snails have long been a source of food, culture, and even science. In many coastal communities, species such as abalones, conchs, and whelks are prized delicacies, supporting local fisheries and traditions. The shells of sea snails have been used as tools, ornaments, and currency throughout history, symbolizing beauty and wealth. From the smallest periwinkle to the deadly cone snail, sea snails embody both fragility and strength. They are architects of shells, engineers of ecosystems, and survivors of ancient lineages that stretch back hundreds of millions of years. Watching a sea snail glide slowly across a reef or listening to the ocean through a conch shell pressed to your ear, we are reminded that even the quietest creatures can have powerful stories to tell. The world of sea snails may be slow-paced, but it is rich with mystery and beauty. They are not only part of the tapestry of marine life, but also part of our own history and future. To conserve the oceans is to conserve them, and in doing so, to preserve a vital thread in the web of life that binds us all to the sea. The giant clam, ancient guardians of coral kingdoms. In the warm, sunlit waters of the Indo-Pacific Ocean lies one of the most extraordinary inhabitants of coral reefs, the giant clam. Known scientifically as Tridacna gigas, it is the largest living bivalve mollusk on Earth and one of the ocean's most iconic creatures. With a shell that can grow over a meter in length and a body that may weigh more than 200 kilograms, the giant clam truly lives up to its name. At first glance, it is the sheer size of the giant clam that captures attention. But on closer inspection, its beauty becomes undeniable. Unlike the dull, ridged shells that house its body, the clam's mantle is a living tapestry of color. Shades of electric blue, emerald green, and golden brown shimmer in the sunlight, produced by iridescent cells and symbiotic algae living within its tissues. These vibrant patterns are not only breathtaking, they help camouflage the clam within the reef, blending it seamlessly into its surroundings. What makes the giant clam so remarkable is the unique partnership it shares with microscopic algae known as zooxanthellae. Nestled within the clam's mantle, these algae perform photosynthesis, capturing sunlight to produce sugars and nutrients. In return, the clam provides a safe environment and essential compounds for the algae to thrive. This mutualistic relationship is so effective that much of the giant clam's nourishment comes from the energy produced by its microscopic partners. In essence, the clam is both animal and farmer, harnessing the power of the sun to sustain its enormous body. Though giant clams are stationary as adults, their lives begin in a much different way. Reproduction occurs when clams release millions of eggs and sperm into the water, relying on currents for fertilization. The larvae that result are tiny, free-floating forms that drift with plankton for several days before settling onto the reef. From there, they anchor themselves and begin a lifelong existence in one place. If conditions are favorable, they can grow steadily for decades, reaching full size in about 15 years and living for over a century. Despite their peaceful appearance, giant clams are anything but defenseless. Their thick, ridged shells protect their soft bodies from most predators, while their ability to quickly close their valves deters unwanted intruders. Still, they are not immune to threats. Certain species of fish, starfish, and snails are capable of piercing or prying open their shells. Yet, it is not natural predators that pose the greatest danger, it is humans. For centuries, giant clams have been harvested for their meat, which is considered a delicacy in some cultures, and for their shells, which are prized for their size and beauty. Overharvesting has drastically reduced populations across many parts of their range. Today, giant clams are listed under international protection through CITES and conservation programs, including aquaculture and reef restoration, aimed to give them a chance to recover. The ecological role of the giant clam, however, extends far beyond its impressive size. By filtering seawater as they feed, clams help maintain water clarity and quality, benefiting the corals and other reef organisms around them. Their shells provide shelter and habitat for small fish, algae, and invertebrates, while their presence contributes to the overall stability of reef ecosystems. In many ways, giant clams are quiet engineers of the reef, sustaining life through their very existence. For humans, giant clams have long held cultural and symbolic significance. In some Pacific Island traditions, they were revered as sacred creatures associated with abundance and longevity. Their massive shells have been used as basins in temples, as garden ornaments, and even as baptismal fonts in churches. Today, beyond cultural symbolism, giant clams remind us of the delicate balance between human use and conservation of the sea's resources. But the challenges facing giant clams continue to grow. Climate change, with its warming waters and rising acidity, threatens the coral reefs they depend on. Bleaching events, which affect their algal partners, reduce their ability to feed and grow. Destructive fishing practices and habitat loss add further pressure. Without careful stewardship, the giant clam's future remains uncertain. Yet, there is hope. Marine sanctuaries, breeding programs, and awareness campaigns are helping to protect and restore populations. In many areas, farm-raised clams are being reintroduced to reefs, boosting numbers and strengthening ecosystems. These efforts highlight a simple but powerful truth. When given a chance, the ocean has an incredible capacity for recovery. The giant clam is more than a curiosity of size or a source of food. It is a living testament to the interconnectedness of life in the ocean. It represents resilience through partnership, thriving not by speed or aggression, but by harnessing sunlight and forming alliances with the tiniest of organisms. As we peer into its shimmering mantle, we are reminded of the hidden wonders that lie beneath the waves and the responsibility we hold to protect them. In the grand story of the sea, the giant clam stands as a symbol of endurance, beauty, and balance. But within its shell lies one of nature's most extraordinary survival strategies, proof that even the quietest creatures can play an enormous role in shaping the life of our planet's oceans.